I hadn't seen my family in over 10 years. 10 years! A decade away from the people who were supposed to be my anchor, my safety, my home. I imagined what coming back would feel like. Warm hugs, laughter echoing through the house, maybe even forgiveness. I pictured the smell of the kitchen, the old Christmas decorations, the soft chatter of my siblings, a feeling of magic, like time had folded itself gently around me. But when I arrived, it wasn't magic. It was a letter. Cold, stiff, and cruel. It said, "Don't come back. You're not welcome." No calls, no messages, just that one sentence from the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally. My heart skipped, my chest tightened. I felt like the floor had been pulled from beneath me. I stood there in the doorway, staring at the paper, as if maybe reading it again would make it less real. My mother didn't speak. My brother looked anywhere but at me. And my father, he just stared, as if I had become a stranger in my own house. I remembered the child I used to be, running through these same halls, dreaming of the future. Could they really reject me after all these years? For a moment, doubt crept in. Had I made a mistake leaving all those years ago? But then I remembered every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every brick I had laid with my own hands in the life I had built far away. I wasn't helpless. I wasn't powerless. I was stronger than I had ever been in that small, familiar living room. Years ago, I had signed some papers for them. They called it a small favor. At the time, I thought nothing of it, but those papers, they held a secret power, power that I hadn't realized I possessed. Control over the very house they believed was theirs without me. I walked slowly through the house. Every corner looked familiar, yet foreign, the smell of old wood mixed with the faint scent of my mother's perfume. Dust motes floated in the winter sunlight, like tiny memories drifting in the air. I could almost hear my younger self laughing in these rooms, feeling safe and loved, and yet that was gone now. I sat down at the kitchen table, the same one where we had shared countless meals. My fingers traced the worn wood, remembering simpler times. I realized that anger and sadness weren't enough. I needed clarity, I needed a plan, I needed to reclaim what was mine without losing myself in bitterness. I wrote a letter, calm, polite, firm, effective immediately. I am exercising my legal ownership. All communication must go through my lawyer. No yelling, no crying. Just the simple reminder, this house, this home, was legally mine. I sent it and waited. The silence that followed was heavy, like the air before a storm. Not the kind of storm with thunder or shouting, but a storm that reshapes everything quietly, invisibly. I felt a mixture of relief and tension, like standing at the edge of a cliff, unsure whether to step forward or retreat. That night, I couldn't sleep. I walked through the hallways, touching the walls I had once dreamed of returning to, feeling a strange combination of sorrow and triumph. I realized that home isn't always where people love you. Sometimes home is where you claim your own space, your own peace, your own rules. Days passed. The house remained quiet. My mother spoke only in short sentences. My father avoided eye contact. My brother moved about silently. But in that quiet, I found my voice. I didn't need their approval. I didn't need their love. I needed my life back, and I had it. I called my lawyer. I ensured all paperwork was in order. Every detail, every legal aspect was solid. I wasn't seeking revenge. I wasn't trying to hurt them. I was simply taking back what I had earned, a home that had always belonged to me on paper and now belonged to me in reality. I started to make small changes, rearranging furniture, opening windows, letting sunlight pour in. Each act was a quiet assertion. I am here. I am allowed. This space belongs to me now. Even the walls seemed to shift, as if welcoming me back, finally recognizing me as their owner. Christmas came. There were no hugs, no warmth, no shared laughter, but I had something stronger: self-respect, boundaries, the power to finally call this house my home. I realized that sometimes the hardest part of growing up is learning that you can't control other people, only yourself, your actions, and your choices. I walked into the living room and sat by the fireplace. The flames flickered softly, reflecting in my eyes. I understood then that home is not always the people you love, but the place where you honor yourself, where your choices are respected, where your presence has value simply because you exist. I wrote in my journal that night, I didn't come back for forgiveness. I came back for me. And I finally found it. And for the first time in years, I felt at peace. Not the peace that comes from others' approval, but the peace that comes from knowing I am enough.